Oracle Content Management provides an end-to-end digital asset management or DAM solution, enabling contributors, marketers, and digital agencies to create, manage, disseminate, and also potentially archive digital assets such as images, videos, audio, documents, and other rich media types. Our vision is to enable users of Oracle Content Management to manage the entire digital asset lifecycle from one platform and one UI. So as marketers and content owners request and plan digital assets to support their ongoing projects, images and videos can be uploaded to Oracle Content Management from any number of sources, including popular file sharing platforms such as OneDrive, Dropbox, or Google Drive, or even Adobe Creative Cloud, or directly from the user's computer. Additionally, videos can also be crowdsourced using our out-of-the-box integration with Sauce Video. Now, once in Oracle Content Management, assets can then be organized into collections and categories to facilitate findability and access control. Embedded AI-powered computer vision is then employed for auto-tagging, while consolidation in one DAM brings the benefits of standardized collaborations. Users inside and outside of the enterprise are then able to collaborate and review in real time through annotation and conversations to refine that digital content. Embedded workflow capabilities ensure that only the approved content is published, while multi-channel publishing facilitates approved content distribution to one or more channels with a click of a button. Renditions are automatically generated for each image and video and also available for delivery via API or GraphQL from consumption to any defined channel. Finally, as we continue to close the loop on our DAM capabilities, OCM provides the ability to track usage of digital assets, audit and monitoring, and upcoming archiving capabilities. From archive, digital assets can also be restored and reused, drastically increasing product costs and time to market through findability and reuse. So now that we understand in a bit more detail what the digital asset management capability is within Oracle Content Management, let's explore in a practical way the end-to-end flow of managing videos, starting with ingesting videos. Videos can be brought into Oracle Content Management in a number of ways, for example via drag and drop from your local desktop, using one of our out-of-the-box connectors, like for example Google Drive, just multi-selecting the videos and then on select bringing them into the platform, or potentially using our YouTube connector that allows you to also bring in some metadata while still managing that particular video within YouTube. For example, using this connector, you can look up various videos, preview the video inside of that context, and then multi-select the videos to bring them into the platform and also store some metadata with them. Alternatively, from our integration with Sauce, you can add videos directly from the Sauce platform into Oracle Content Management by specifying a repository, specifying the sub-bucket and the collection based on content that you want to manage, the channels, and then adding potentially some additional tags as well. Let's see how we can organize videos in Oracle Content Management. Organizing videos inside of Oracle Content Management can happen both at ingestion time, for example, by providing an alternative asset type that we map to those videos. Perhaps instead of my default video plus, I want to add them as a product video, and this is because I have a number of metadata that I've custom created and attached to the product video asset type. And as well, I can edit all of the attributes for all of the videos in bulk at ingestion time. Additionally, perhaps I want to organize my videos against a set of categories that I've defined, for example, something that we call taxonomy inside of Oracle Content Management. And you can have however many taxonomies you want against a repository. So for example, if I want to add these to coffee and maybe to recipes and people, I can do that in one go for all of the assets. Additionally, I can also add them to a collection. So if all of my team, including the contributors outside of the company, work on a single piece of content, like for example, a marketing campaign for Supremo in this case, I could add all of these videos in one go at ingestion time within that collection, making it easy not just to work on that content and identify, but also to share the content in bulk with all of our contributors. Once the content is up, by clicking on Done, it will be uploaded to the repository, displaying as tiles within the Assets panel. Now that our videos are uploaded onto Oracle Content Management, let's have a look at how we collaborate on these videos. Once videos are ingested and processed into Oracle Content Management, they can be opened to further collaborate and refine the content. For example, contributors can preview the content and the player, for example, also changing the quality of the video to test additional resolutions as well as the playback speed. Of course, additional to this, there's a number of capabilities inside of Oracle Content Management. Users can see individual analytics for this content item. They can edit some of the attributes. They can check some of the categories and add or remove some of the existing categories, as well as open up a conversation, for example, on this item. Say within my company, I'd like to have a 10-second or a 5-second preview of this video. I could use one of these conversations to initiate such a request. Now, let's have a 5-second preview rendition called intro. And of course, within Oracle Content Management, not only do you get auto-generated renditions, but you can also create your own, which is what we're going to be using right now. Within this conversation, once you post a message, you also have the capability of flagging additional users. For example, maybe I want to have John build this for me. So John, on the other hand, can open up the same video and click to edit that respective video directly from within Oracle Content Management. Now we have an embedded editor that allows you to trim, for example, videos and create segments from these videos where you can actually save these videos as new renditions. So in my case, all I need to do is drag the right segment and then click on Save as New Rendition and call it Intro. And now this will be saved within my repository, also making it available under the renditions panel for this video. Once the new rendition is added, the page is refreshed, and within the dedicated renditions panel, I also have my custom intro rendition. If I click on it, I can download that rendition, or I can view any one of the available renditions, including the storyboard strip for this particular video or the thumbnail for that video. Furthermore, within the Properties panel, contributors can also check on general information around the video, including size, version, and for the URL, as well as have an extensive audit trail around this particular video and what kind of actions were performed by who and when. Now, we've seen part of the review process as we collaborate on videos. Let's see also how we approve these videos. Back into the UI, you may have noticed that each of the tiles has an individual icon. For example, the 3 videos that we uploaded have a draft icon, whereas, for example, this previous menu item content has a published icon. Now, in between draft and publish, of course, there's a number of statuses like in review, approved or rejected, published, translated, and so on. But the very first thing we need to do is be able to approve this content. So in order to do that, we'll select one of these tiles and from the menu go to the workflows panel. The workflows panel lists all the workflows available to us. And in this case, we have 3 sample workflows that we can choose from. And for the sake of convenience, I'll just choose the 2-step workflow. It also lists the one item selected, as well as give us the possibility to action that workflow directly from within the Oracle Content Management UI. Now, once the workflow is launched, we also see a status of the workflow and where we are within the flow of the workflow. I'll also get the possibility to action some of the tasks in the workflow. For example, approvals. We get the actions that are available from within the workflow engine. And in our case, we're just going to select approve and put a comment as well, because we do get the possibility to also get a comment box where we can add some additional comments. We can approve, which will take the same item through the second step in the workflow. In this case, because of the structure of the workflow, that would be the legal approval. We can see that the comment that we've added is also marked with a timestamp and a user trail. And we can action the second task in this workflow, which in this case will also approve and put a comment in here as well. Once the workflow is done, we can see that both steps of approval, the content approval and the legal approval, were completed. And we also get a completed icon on the status of the whole workflow, with a dedicated expandable card for the audit trail where we can see all the actions that were performed against that content item. Now that our video is approved, the status icon has changed to approved and the green icon, and the workflow panel gives us the possibility to initiate another workflow should we want to do that. Of course, the previous workflow that we just ran through, the two-step workflow process, is still available and documented in an audit trail in the completed tab. Finally, let's look at how we can publish our videos. Back in the Oracle Content Management UI, I'm going to filter by collection to just obtain the videos that I created. Now, in order to publish, I'd like to publish all of them, and I can select all and decide if I want to publish now or later. For the purpose of the showcase, we're going to look at the Publish Later capability that allows you to create a publishing job. You can create a scheduled job, give it a name, specify the channels where you want that content to go out, like, for example, Cafe Supremo Marketing, CX Commerce, Facebook, and Instagram, for example. You can validate the content to make sure that the content is ready. And of course, this will verify against all the policies for the various channels. If one of these channels requires that you publish only approved content, then that will show up under the validation screen. And then, of course, you can schedule that published job. Any published job will be visible inside of the Publishing Jobs calendar view, allowing you to quickly look up and track and trace which publishing jobs you've created, and of course, manage and go back to each of these jobs to modify as necessary. Of course, you can also disable publishing jobs by simply clicking on them and click Cancel Jobs. Alternatively, what you can do is you could also publish the content right now. If I click on Publish Now, I can do the same approach, select Marketing, Commerce, Facebook, and Instagram, just by clicking on the respective channels. Validate, make sure I get a ready status across all assets, and then click on Publish. You can see that some items are in draft and some are approved, which means that none of these channels actually force you to have only approved content. But of course, if you'd like, that could be an option. You can now see that all of the assets have published status. If we click on any one of them, we can actually check inside of the sidebar channels panel to which channels has been published. And of course, for each of these channels within the properties panel, there's an API endpoint where you can also see the output of that API just by clicking on the curly braces.